my 30-day review, even though we're about 44 days in. For the Tesla Model Y 2024 version, I picked it up on March 29th. Today is May 13th. I previously had the Model 3. The 2021 Model 3 is what I had before this car. What I love about this vehicle that the Model 3 didn't have is that, of course, it's higher off of the ground, so it's so much easier to get into and out of. Like, it's night and day getting into and out of this car. It has a smoother ride for sure. Like, the Model 3, it felt more like a sport car. Like, it was much more like when you hit a bump, you will be like, you felt it. This one is much smoother, a much smoother ride overall. It even handles better to me. The Model 3, at least the 2021, I can only speak for the 2021 that I had for 3 years, that I leased. The handling on it, I tried it in all 3 different modes, and I felt like it was a smooth ride. But this car, it rides, because it is technically, I guess, an SUV version. It rides like an SUV. It does. It just handles so much better to me. It's a smoother handle. It's not so jerky, if that makes sense. I love the front. I mean, I use my front in my Model 3 90% of the time anyway. So this vehicle, the front is even a little bit more deep and wider than the Model 3. It's a bigger car, so of course you're going to have more room. I didn't think that it was. I didn't know that the front was bigger. I ain't do my research, point blank period. For the Model 3, I did all the research, but for this one, I didn't. And I was pleasantly surprised that the front is a little bit deeper and wider. So that was a nice little plus. It came with floor mats. The Model 3 2021, when I got it, I knew going in that it didn't have floor mats, and I needed to have that immediately. So I was shocked when I got in here and it already had floor mats. So that was a nice extra bonus. Let's see. The only other 2 things that are of note for this car that make a difference between, if you're on the fence between getting a Model 3 and a Model Y. Now, I know they did a Model 3 refresh. I haven't done no research on it, so I don't know what all it comes with. But this Model Y, the 2024 version, it has the ambient floor lighting. So when it's dark, when it gets dark, that is helpful. You wouldn't think something that simple, but I appreciate the ambient floor lighting. And also the doors where the cup holder, where it has like a little space for you to put your water bottle or whatever, is carpeted. So I didn't think that was something I would care about, but I often put my water bottle on the door now, because I think this one is a little bigger too, as far as deeper, because my water bottle fits in there perfectly. I'll insert a picture of the water bottle that I typically use, and it fits in there perfectly. And because it's carpeted, it's not like rattling around down there. Like if it's here in the cup holder, you'll hear a little bit of the little rattling around of it. So I typically put it there. So those were 2 of the things that were kind of cool, that were different, that, it ain't really no game changer between making a difference on getting the Model 3 or getting the Model Y. Again, like I said, I haven't looked at the new refresh Model 3 of what all it comes with. Somebody in my comments, I'll insert their name here, asked me why didn't I go with the wait and get the Model 3 refresh, because it comes with a lot more bells and whistles. But honestly, I told him, I believe it was a guy, I just said getting in and out of the vehicle sometimes can be challenging for me because of my back. So, and that's true. And plus, I take my elderly relative to a lot of doctor's appointments and things, so it was getting challenging for them too. The only con that I noticed about the Model Y, and this is only if you have a family or you have taller people, the back seat, the leg room is really, like, I'm short, I'm 5'5", So when I'm sitting back there, you'll see in the video and the clips, I'll insert them here, my knees are like right at this back seat. Like I got a smidge of room between my knees and this seat here. So if you're tall, like if you have taller kids or taller people that you're going to be transporting in the back seat, you might want to think about it. I understand why they have the seats that close, because this car can have a third row, I guess. We can have 2 more seats in here. But yeah, it's tight. And like I said, my family, we short people, so it ain't no problem for us. But you know, if you got tall folks, that's something to consider. That third row it's snug. It's snug for people that have a lot of legs. But that's pretty much it. Everything else, as far as the cup holders, the storage here in the middle console on both of them are exactly the same as far as I can tell. No difference. The glove box seemed like it was exactly the same to me too. There was no other noticeable differences in the vehicle that I have found so far. Like everything else, the mirrors, you know, everything else inside the vehicle has been exactly the same as my Model 3. So I don't really have any comparison. The only thing I did different is I got the darker seat, the black seats, the black interior, and I got the standard gray color that came free. I will say aesthetically, I think I do prefer the white seats, but for the money, I don't hate the dark interior, honestly. So overall, I love it. I would definitely, if there's nothing else in the next 3 years, be purchasing the Model Y. Yeah, I'm sold on it. Like, this answered everything that I didn't like about the 3, with mainly being able to get in and out of the car, because you don't have anything to, like, once you open the door to get out the car, like, you just gotta drag yourself out. Yeah, the audio in here, I don't know, I may have it not set correctly, but lately I feel like the audio is kind of, I don't know, maybe I messed it up some kind of way, but it has seemed like it's much lower than it was in the Model 3. So I don't know if that was some setting that I personally messed up. So I'm gonna play around with it and see if I can get it to sounding a little better, because it just seems low to me even when it's all the way up. So yeah, that is my review. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll answer, you know, honestly, whatever questions that you might have. Yeah, that's my experience with the Model Y. I can't think of anything else that is of note, like I said, in this vehicle. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it took so long to get out, but if you've been following the channel, you'll know why. So have a good one.